Hey, Barry Schaefer here, founder and director of Inward Resources. You know, when calamity strikes, one of the resounding questions is simply, where is God? And that question is a logical question to get to when you consider God's power, God's love, and his omnipresence. If he's everywhere, well, then where is he now? Well, in Scripture, we see several scenes when bad circumstances meet the presence of God. And the interaction in these scenes tells us a lot about what's going on in our own bad circumstances. One of the most notable of these scenes is in John 11, when Jesus' best friends experience the death of a close friend, Lazarus, who was also a close friend of Jesus. And when John describes the scene when Jesus comes to where they had buried Lazarus and he meets up with his close friends, John notes several moments when Jesus cried or was deeply moved in spirit. And that phrase that we translate deeply moved is actually an interesting Greek word. It was a word used to denote deep emotion, even anger. Its literal use was to describe the snorting of a horse. And I think this gives us a great picture of the scene that John has described for us. Jesus was not just shedding a polite, empathetic tear. He was blubber, ugly crying. He was snort crying. And there's something wildly comforting to me about the image of Jesus snort crying with his friends, crying with anger, crying with grief, and crying with pain. Now, in my own crises, I'll admit, I'd rather have Jesus just go ahead and fix the problem with some miracle rather than just cry with me. Scripture has shown me that he has fixed things before, like he did eventually with Lazarus. I know he can, but I don't know if he will. I need to trust that his overall grand plan is far greater than anything I could ask or imagine, just like that promise in Ephesians 3:20. In fact, even with this scene with Lazarus, if Mary and Martha had gotten their original prayers answered, Jesus would have arrived sooner, and he would have healed Lazarus while he was still sick. But if that would have happened, the miracle of John 11 would then have been the healing of a sick man rather than the raising of a dead man. And I'm thinking that that was far greater than anything that Mary or Martha could have imagined. The thing is, we can pray for the big. We're told to pray for the big. We can pray for resurrection. We can pray for things to be miraculously fixed. We cannot presume, though, how God is going to respond. What we can know is that he is with us. He is letting us bury our faces in his chest. He is blubber crying with us, wiping our nose, wiping his nose too. And there's something very comforting about the creator of the universe, the redeemer of the universe, crying with me, right alongside of me. Yeah, I'm crying, but I've got great company. Thanks for taking a moment to check in. My prayer is that this thought is as helpful for you as it has been for me. Thank you.